An open letter to Matt Dillahunty by the members of the Vegan Atheist Forum. This three-part video attempts to address Mr. Dillahunty's arguments and fallacies as presented on the Atheist Experience TV Show. In this, the third and final part, we address the burden of proof and other fallacies. Part 3. Burden of proof and other fallacies. Somewhere at the end of your conversation with the vegan that called in, you said the following.
People who claim that I have an ethical burden to not eat meat that have the case to make.
If you don't claim to be a good person and to avoid unethical behavior, then the burden of proof would be on those who claim a behavior you engage in is unethical since you have made no claims either way. However, if you claim in any way to be a good person and/or to avoid unethical behavior, then the burden of proof is on you to substantiate that claim by defending your behavior when challenged. You, Matt, have claimed to care about ethics and that they are important to you. Have you put into practice those ethics you claim to care about? Are you a good person? Do you avoid unethical behavior? If you would answer yes to any of those questions, then yes, the burden of proof does lie on you to defend your behavior. Maybe you've never claimed to be a good person. Maybe you care about ethics like a chain smoker cares about avoiding cancer, superficially, but not enough to do anything about it. If that's the case, then you're right and you don't have the burden of proof. That's a pretty sad defense to make, though. You can say, I don't have to defend the morality of my actions because I never technically claim to practice what I preach. It's your legal right, not a moral right, to be as bad a person as you want to be, and to be indifferent to the effects of your actions. But that doesn't make it right.
It would be nice if we never did harm to another living thing, and therefore we should probably not eat meat. But it would also be nice if we extended a lot of other human rights to other animals as well. And that follows logically from the same path that I think you've started with, but it doesn't really make sense to me in any kind of practical way at all.
And now we come back to rights. This is a terrible straw man and indicates that you don't understand the issue at all. It's very likely that confused vegans, in turn, confuse you with deontological rhetoric. Let's set this straight. As pointed out earlier, inherent moral rights aren't a real thing. Rights are a legal issue. Sometimes giving a class of individuals or even companies certain rights under the law is morally useful. For example, the individual right to free speech. This has a practical moral utility because oppressing free speech leads to negative consequences. It all comes down to consequences, because without tangible consequences, you're just pulling your moral axioms out of thin air, or worse, scripture. You are more likely talking about rights that a non-human animal would have absolutely no use for. For example, the right to vote or the right to own property. In contrast to the right not to be harmed, which has some utility, animals have no interest in having these other rights, and having these rights would not improve their well-being in any way. For lack of morally useful consequences, no, it would not be nice to give them those legal rights. It would be completely meaningless. The same thing applies to young children, who likewise have no use for property since they are under the care of their parents, or the right to vote since they have no idea what that is. Or are you arguing that this makes it okay to go ahead and kill them for food too? That rights are all or nothing? We hope not, because that would make yet another fallacy on your part. We can't tell you what to do, and our letter may not have any effect on your actions. That's up to you. We do hope that you'll be open to reason, though, to accept scientific consensus and at the very least take the time to disown your prior bad arguments, so they don't negatively influence others. If you think we misunderstood your position, or you wish to learn more and discuss the finer points of nutritional science or moral philosophy, we'd be glad to continue this dialogue. Don't forget to check out Part 3 of this open letter to Matt. The letter in its entirety can be found on TheVeganAtheist.com. If you would like to see a response from Mr. Dillahunty, please consider sharing this video with others on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and perhaps it can be brought to his attention. The more exposure these videos receive, the more likely Matt will notice them and feel compelled to respond. Looking for a great place to communicate with vegans, atheists, theists, and non-vegans from across the globe? Consider joining the Vegan Atheist Forum. Our growing community is always looking for new members with whom we can share our experiences, debate issues, discuss, and learn from each other. This letter is the first forum collaboration, so if you would like to be a part of future projects, find us at theveganatheist.com/forum.